Hey guys, Toby Morrison here from the lovely south of France poolside. Just had a quick dip as my hair's nice and wet. Now today I wanted to talk to you about the stages of progression with recovery, and I came up with a really good analogy today with one of my clients over the phone who is at a lower stage of recovery and is working towards improving that step by step. So if you compare recovery or the stages of recovery to starting at a company in terms of a job or a career. So with recovery there's different stages, and you know, usually it's diagnosis, completely bedbound, absolutely struggling, to then being able to do a little bit around the house, and then from there being able to go outside and do activities, and then obviously slowly progress back into, you know, life and friendships and socializing and doing all those different things. Recovery is very much like job progression. So let's say you get a job as a intern role. So an intern would be someone who's learning the new ropes, experiencing what the company's like and how they go about their daily work. The second progression from that intern would become a graduate role. So they're like the second tier, and it might take them a year or 6 months or sometimes even 3 months to get to that role. Now from there they might go into an admin role, and then from there their junior admin role they'll go to a senior admin role, and then from a senior admin role they might go to a junior management role, and then from a junior management role they'll go to a senior management role, and then from a senior management role they might become a partner or a director. And so the same analogy works with recovery, thereby you go from here to here to here to here to here to then becoming the director of your life. And what I mean by that is, you know, creating what you want to create when you want to create it. And just like the person who started in the admin role some time back, they've worked towards improving their vocation to the point where they get to the next level, and then they work on their vocation and they get to the next level. And from going from a junior admin role to then a director, they've done the steps to get to that place. Recovery and anything to do with life is really like that. So I invite you to acknowledge where you're at right now, and acceptance isn't resignation. It's more important to realize where you're at, and then you can figure out your next role in your recovery. Where do you want to be next? Oftentimes we set the bar too high, and then we don't really know where to go, and we get confused, and we either try too hard and we push too much and then we crash, or we don't do enough and we kind of become very complacent and don't really know what our next step is. And this is where coaching and getting help, self-help and things like that can really help progress you to the next level. But at the end of the day, it's not really those things that matter. It's what matters to you and what you do with yourself. So just for some awareness today, I'd really invite you to, one, acknowledge where you're at, but then acknowledge what's the next level for you. We often have this huge gap of where we are to where we want to be, and we don't really know the steps we need to take. Again, it's just like a job starting at a fresh organisation where you start with as a junior and you build up to a senior role. And hopefully recovery is a lot quicker than that, because we know that with companies, people start when they're 20 years old, and then by the time they're 40 they become a director, or 50 or even 60 sometimes. So with recovery it can be a lot quicker than that. So just a little tip for you today: acknowledge where you're at, but then also let's see what our next role is, our next promotion as such. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. I hope that helps. I hope that gives you a bit of a spark with some ideas of what you need to do. And then once you know where you want to go, what's your next step, your next level of promotion for you in terms of your health and your life, then you need to figure out what you need to do to get that. And that can be sometimes a tricky thing in a complex kind of condition. However, it doesn't actually have to be that hard, and this is why there is great help out there. So just identify where you want to get to in terms of the next step and the next promotion for you, but then figure out how you're going to get there. Again, If you need coaching, you can PM my Facebook page or email my sister at info@cfshealth.com. If you're not in the program and you need some extra help, then reach out and get it, because sometimes some of the most complex problems need the most simple solutions, and we can offer that. All right, hope that helps. All the best. Get that next promotion.